Good morning everybody. Finally, at last, we have some sunshine on this trip, and of course it's a day that I have to be going back. This is probably my shortest camping trip for quite a while, and of course Lassie's got extra excited and decided to try to dig down to Andy in Australia and Johnny in New Zealand. Anyone else down below? I don't know when this particular video will get edited, you know, and when I will be pumping out more content from this video, depending on when it gets uploaded, as it were. It might very well be that what I've got I spread out over the next month, in which case you won't even notice a gap. If perchance I publish everything, I'll try and spread it out between now and the middle of August. But basically what I'm trying to say is that now we are the middle of July. There's quite a few things going on at home over the next month. Some less than fortunate things, but personal things. No one's died or anything. But there will be one or two changes going on. I'll maybe explain more, you know, in another video. But I won't go into too much detail because it's personal stuff. But anyway, oh, sodding out my nose. Who else uses beacon ace for their nose? I'm trying to get in the habit of using it because the doctor gave it to me like a month or 2 months ago, maybe even more, and I keep forgetting to use it, and I just use it like once now and again, which really isn't very helpful. Anyway, we have to head back today, and I'm going to try and get going soon so I can watch some of the Wimbledon final this afternoon. We've got the door open in the Niak. It stood up to some pretty horrendous wind and rain yesterday, so it did surprisingly well because we're in a pretty exposed place here. I definitely don't recommend taking it out in anything over 30 mile an hour winds. If you see a forecast of over 30, I go somewhere else. I mean, the forecast here were for 40 to 50. Luckily, we didn't get that. I think I would have had to have moved down, just down below there, where it probably would have been more sheltered from this westerly wind. I probably should have gone down there anyway. I was thinking about just putting a trailstar up here, you know, to seam seal it, which I could easily have done down there in fairness. But anyway, it survived. Cuben fibre. This is for the new people who think Cuben fibre is or DCF is the new material on the block, the new thing to show, you know, for content creators and such like. Cuben fibre's been around for 12, 15 years. I've been using it right from my very first early videos. So I've been using Cuben fibre shelters longer than all of these new YouTubers have even imagined what Cuben fibre DCF ever is. I can show you what happens to Cuben fibre after, you know, quite a little bit of use, and it's not like most materials which will last some time. It will delaminate and start to get threadbare. This is obviously, you know, an earlier generation, probably a 0.7 stuff sack you can see it's seen an awful lot of use, but you know, it has seen better days. But it still works as a stuff sack, but it is getting to the point now where there are threads inside, and each time I use it, I'm pulling more and more threads. So it's starting to delaminate from the inside. I've always been a big fan of Cuben fibre, and I will still carry on using it. But, you know, new people who don't understand Cuben fibre, you know, just be aware that after some time, it will start to fall apart. It does not last forever. This is another stuff sack that I have, and you might be able to see it starting to get threadbare there. It's getting threadbare there, around there. Where it starts to go first is generally along the fold up the top. That was what I noticed first, and then slowly but surely it started delaminating here. And of course that's on the constant roll places, you know, where you're constantly rolling it and where the pressure is and everything, and that's obviously where the main point of failure is. So, you know, if you're buying Cuben fibre, just be aware of and remember, you know, that it won't last. You know, it won't last as long as sil nylon, or probably as sil poly or any of these other things. You know, they will last a lot longer. And obviously if you have a ground sheet made out of this, you know, obviously, you know, in time it will start to fail. Mine are still solid, but I will admit I don't think they're any longer waterproof. But as long as you know, are on reasonable ground, then you're fine. It's just if the ground is waterlogged, then an older Cuben fibre ground sheet, it will let water in. It will. I know, because I did a test on that, filling a ground sheet up with water to see if water would get through, and it did. I'll do something with that video at some point or other, because I was trying to be a bit clever. I was trying to be a bit clever, because I was in a bit of denial. No, my ground sheet, my Cuben fibre ground sheet won't leak, it's fine. That video didn't quite go according to plan, and it did indeed leak. So, you know, just be aware, you know, be aware that Cuben fibre ground sheets on dry ground, even on wet ground, as long as it's not waterlogged, you'll be fine. And I will carry on using it, you know, in most conditions, because generally speaking, we're not on waterlogged ground, generally speaking. And it's not unheard of to find waterlogged ground, as I've discovered, obviously. So, you know, that's just to be... I'll edit that video sometime. I'll get all this other stuff done, and then I'll try and do that. But if I can't get it edited, because it just didn't quite work out how I was planning it to go. When it comes to collapsing your shelter, when it's quite breezy, you need to be, you know, particularly careful. Oh, come here. So this is a freestanding tent. So what we'll do is we'll release this one first. And it was sunny, believe it or not, a minute ago. So undo these front pegs, keep the ground pegs in for the moment, and undo the back pegs, all of these on the lines. And what I would suggest is that we undo this one over here, but keep the other three in position just for the moment. And remember, you need to push you don't want to pull. That's the tricky part. Right, now what I suggest that we do is to try and help flatten this. Wrong one. That's okay, we'll leave that one. No, we won't. No, because we don't want this suddenly flapping everywhere. So let's put that one back in there. Let's release this one here. It's not too windy. Right, okay. Once they're flat, what I'm going to suggest, because this is a windward side, I'm just going to put that in there just to stop it from flapping so much. And once you've got it flat on the ground and we've protected it inside, but what we've also done, we have separated one section, so that you need to be very careful when doing. It's fine, we didn't break anything thankfully, but you just got to try and thread it through backwards, and once you get down to the very last little bit, then it comes out quite easily. And then once you've done that, get this pole put away. Now you notice I have not got it strapped to my pack, but that corner over there is still pegged out. Now because this doesn't have any poles on it, you know, any front and end things on it, we can basically stuff it in the stuff sack, moving inexorably, or whatever the word is, towards that corner that's pegged out. So in this instance, and you got it in there safely, and put all your pegs. Try and remember to count them as you go, and that way if you do lose one, or you haven't got as many as you should have, and I think I didn't count them because I was telling you to count them, but I think I did pick them all up. Then obviously you can just put them in easily like that. There is a bit of rain in the air, but not too much hopefully. So obviously we brought the trailstar as well with us this trip. So that's the Niak. I really don't like weather like this. Like I say, we're spoilt down here because we don't get the bugs, the midges and such like down here. So I must admit, I'm not looking forward to the winter. I know you all love the winter because you'll get the the midges and what have you. I think I might put my waterproof jacket on, I think. Okay. Ah. Oh. Well, the walk back to the car is a very nice. I'll put my cap, a bit like Norman Wisdom. Well, the walk back to the car is very much a wet, hailstorm, windy affair. It's really very, very unpleasant. There's a huge cloud over to my right over there, and I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon. Anyway, I think the forecast did say rain this afternoon, but what can you do? We got going when we got going, and hello home. Hello. So, a couple of cyclists just got blown past. I've not tentacle sync timed this, but the tentacle sync should be running, and if it is running, then you'll be able to, or I should be able to synchronize it in post-production easily enough. It's oh anyway, it's been a funny old trip. Let's hope August is somewhat better than this. Alright, well, I think I'm going to sign off. There's really not much else to say other than, you know, thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next video, which after this trip, as I said, will be the middle of August, and I should get all of this edited in that month, I would think. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, notification, all that usual stuff that nobody ever listens to anyway. Alright, until the next one, thanks for watching.